Okay, let me say good morning to everyone, and let me start off by acknowledging the council members who are standing with me today. The Vice Mayor Pro Tem Martha Kestek Tatum, who happens to be the chairman of the Economic Development Committee, and this kind of fits in quite nicely with what we're going to be announcing today. Council Member Tiffany Thomas, who chairs Housing Committee. And then we have Councilmember Tasha Jackson, who is our newest member from District B. And then there are a number of other individuals who are here, and I'm going to be acknowledging them throughout these remarks. I do want to say this is a special day, so I want to thank certainly Comcast for being with us today, Michael Beebe, and who's the Director of the External Communications for Comcast, and then also Melinda Little, Director of Government Affairs. Where's Melinda? There she is. Okay. So good morning. Today I'm joined by these council members, those affiliated with Comcast, and then some very other special guests for an announcement that will benefit our city's small businesses. And before we get started, I do want to also acknowledge the representatives from the different chambers of commerce who are in this room with us today. Francis Castaneda Diaz, President of the Houston East End Chamber. Francis. Tammy Wallace, co-founder and president and CEO of the Greater Houston LGBT Chamber. Where's Tammy? Oh, there's Tammy. Okay. Moses Solis, chairman of the Camaraderie Empresarios Latinos de Houston. Did I get that somewhat right? Okay. And Carol Guest, president of the Greater Houston Black Chamber. Where's Carol? She's over there. And then Paul Gore, director of community development for the Asian Chamber. Paul, good morning. The city of Houston knows the pandemic has created challenges for many small businesses, and we continue to do everything we can to help them survive until things get better. Today, the Comcast Corporation is announcing the Comcast RISE Investment Fund, which will provide $5 million of grants to hundreds of Black, Indigenous, and people of color, BIPOC, owned small businesses in 5 cities nationwide. I am proud to announce that Houston is one of those 5 cities that will be receiving $1 million designated for BIPOC-owned small businesses. Come on, give them. Beginning in March, eligible businesses in Houston can apply for a $10,000 grant at www.comcastrise.com. A total of 100 grants in Houston will be awarded in May 2021. The investment fund is the latest extension of Comcast RISE, the multi-year, multifaceted initiative launched in October 2020 that initially focused on Black-owned small businesses and then extended to Black, Indigenous, and people of color-owned businesses to help those hardest hit by COVID-19. Studies show that BIPOC-owned small businesses have been particularly hard hit by the pandemic, and recent research by J.P. Morgan Chase Institute found that Atlanta, Chicago, Detroit, Houston, and Philadelphia were in the top markets for sharp declines in local commerce spending. To help drive outreach about the program and provide additional support, training, and mentorship, Comcast has also awarded more than $2 million to nearly 20 community-based organizations in the 5 cities, including the Camaraderie Empresarios Latinos de Houston, the Greater Houston Black Chamber, the Greater Houston LGBT Chamber of Commerce, the Houston East End Chamber, the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and the Asian Chamber of Commerce. Let me just stop and thank Comcast. Many of our businesses, and small businesses and businesses of color, have been hard hit due to this pandemic. And the fact that they are stepping up through this initiative to help these businesses not only benefit the businesses, but for the employees that work for these businesses as well. So now let me pause and bring up Michael, Mike, I'm saying BB. Is it Bobby or BB? Bobby. I knew it was Bobby. Director of External Communications for Comcast, to the podium to talk more about the Comcast RISE Investment Fund. And he will be followed by Vice Mayor Pro Tem Martha Castak Tatum. Mike.
Good morning. I'd like to thank you, Mayor, council members, for being here, for allowing us to be here and announce this great program that we're going to have for the city of Houston. I'm thrilled to be here today in partnership with the city, along with our friends and RISE partners from each of the major Houston area chambers here with us today. My name is Michael Bybee. I'm the Director of External Communications with Comcast here in Houston. While we know no single organization can solve historic and systemic inequities overnight, Comcast is committed to taking tangible actions that can drive long-term impact and change. Comcast RISE, which stands for Representation, Investment, Strength, and Empowerment, is a broad initiative that launched in 2020 to provide eligible minority-owned small businesses with the marketing and technology resources and tools they need to grow their business and thrive for years to come. As the mayor mentioned, our small businesses here in Houston have always played an integral part in our city's growth and future. In the midst of this pandemic, these entrepreneurs provided many of the services and resources that have kept our communities up and running, and still do. Today, we're announcing the Comcast RISE Investment Fund, providing $5 million to hundreds of Black, Indigenous, and people of color-owned businesses in 5 cities nationwide, including $1 million right here in Houston. As the mayor mentioned, the other 5 cities include Atlanta, Chicago, Detroit, and Philadelphia. Beginning March 1st through the 14th, eligible businesses in Houston can apply for a $10,000 grant at ComcastRISE.com. A total of 100 grants in Houston will be awarded in the month of May. The Comcast RISE Investment Fund is focused on small businesses who have been in operation for a minimum of 3 years, with 1 to 25 employees. Businesses must be in the Harris and Fort Bend counties. And again, to learn more about the program and apply, visit ComcastRISE.com. The investment fund is the latest extension in the Comcast RISE initiative. The multifaceted program launched in October of 2020 that initially focused on Black-owned small businesses, then extended to BIPOC-owned businesses to help those hardest hit by COVID-19. To help drive outreach about the program and provide additional support, training, and mentorship, Comcast has also awarded more than $2 million to nearly 20 community-based organizations in the 5 cities mentioned. In Houston, that includes our partners here from the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, the Greater Houston Black Chamber, the Asian Chamber of Commerce, the Greater Houston LGBT Chamber, Houston East End Chamber, and the Cámara de Empresarios. In addition to the grant component of the investment, RISE also provides the opportunity for BIPOC-owned businesses to apply for marketing services and technology makeovers. Hundreds were announced last November, with more than 40 of those right here in Houston. Now, in addition to the monetary component, this is a pretty neat integral part of driving the success of local businesses. Marketing services provided for the grant recipients from our Effect TV, which is our advertising sales division of Comcast, are designed to help those recipients with their with their marketing and media campaigns, including linear TV campaign, creative production to include a 30-second TV commercial, plus a media strategy consultation and a 90-day media placement schedule. Advertising marketing consultations with marketing research and creative teams to gain insights on how to drive business. Technology makeovers. This is exciting. State-of-the-art equipment and technology upgrade from Comcast Business that includes computer equipment as well as internet, voice, and cybersecurity services. Again, small businesses are the backbone of our communities. And today, more than ever, small businesses owned by Black, Indigenous, and people of color are hurting. We know Comcast alone cannot remedy complex systematic issues, but we are deeply committed to playing a role in driving change. Through Comcast RISE, we aim to create sustainable impact and give meaningful support to small businesses who are shaping our communities. Again, the application window is March 1st through the 14th, those grants being awarded in May. For more information and the applications to apply for either the grant program or the marketing and technology services, visit ComcastRISE.com. Thank you, council members. Thank you, Mayor.
I think this announcement definitely deserves a real round of applause. This is an exciting announcement. So many of our minority small businesses have not been able to withstand the many months of suppressed revenues. And even with the City of Houston's $25 million Small Business Relief Program, and Mayor, I'd like to recognize Director Murray with the Office of Business Affairs, who's with us today as well, and the county's $30 million relief program, it has not been enough. Government cannot do this work alone. Our small businesses have been hit hard, and as we work towards recovery, programs like Comcast RISE will play a vital role in those efforts. As the chairperson of the City of Houston's Economic Development Committee, I am ecstatic to work alongside Comcast to get this information to our minority business owners. This program will not only help us to minimize the number of permanent business closures by addressing the revenue side of the income statements, but also helps with reducing those business expenses during this time and supporting businesses as they transition to e-commerce selling. COVID-19 has caused serious disruptions in the Houston economy, but we remain optimistic and look forward to more companies making the commitment to playing a role in driving change and giving meaningful support to the minority small businesses who are shaping our communities. Thank you, Comcast, for not only this program, but for your entire diversity and inclusion initiative and for amplifying the importance of fighting injustice and inequality against any race, ethnicity, gender identity, sexual orientation, or ability. We are stronger together, and we will continue to rise together. Thank you, Comcast.
Now, if you will, I'm going to climax this program by singing the song Rise.
We should have invited Yolanda Adams.
But since y'all making me laugh, let me just say I highly encourage small businesses that are in the most financial need to take advantage of this wonderful opportunity. All last week we've talked about putting forth the strategies and initiatives that would be very directional to meeting the needs of various people within our city. This particular program does just that. So I want to thank Comcast for being responsive and sensitive and recognizing the need to reach out to make sure that these businesses that exist today continue to exist tomorrow. So thank you so very much. Yeah. Now, having said that, I'm going to ask if we get the representatives from all the chambers to come in front. Oh, where's let me when I taught in law school, let me just call on somebody. No, what?
I think there's somebody.
You know,
You and I can work together. Yes, I'll make it happen.
you want to do it now?
We shall do it.
Can you do it? Come on.
If you just guide me to the words that you want me to reference, please. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you said if you leave something out, I'll fill in.
Okay, gotcha. Just this? Is that what we're saying?
And the website.
Which one? What else?
Yeah, why don't we do that? Let's do that afterward, and we'll pull aside, yeah, so we can make sure you're set. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do it
Okay,
afterward.
gotcha.
Everyone will come.
Do that now.